establishing communications with another sentient species in accordance with the Prime Directive.
Look now.
Enemy positions revealed.
It's kind of a weird world we're living in at the moment because for some reason we've had ourselves a official Stellaris modification for Star Trek announced the other day. Star Trek Infinite, which again was announced the other day, is essentially a total conversion for Stellaris, yeah, and it's very much focused on Star Trek. You're not watching it right now, by the way. No, this is the total conversion mod for Stellaris itself, and, well, let's put it this way. It does look quite magnificent with all the features and all the ships that you have in this particular game, but still, the question is, why? Well, that's actually really straightforward, because the why of why you would want to make a licensed game for Star Trek is relatively straightforward. I'm sure that somebody over at Paramount saw the original mod and thought by themselves, you know what, this would be perfect for our brand, especially with all these new TV shows coming up in the near future. And they took a team and they talked to Paradox Interactive. They took the Stellaris code and made themselves a brand new game. It's absolutely fascinating what's going on here. And initially when I was watching the original trailer, I thought by myself, okay, this could be something a little bit more Twilight Imperium-ish. Stellaris Nexus is very similar in that regard. But then I saw the follow-up screenshots, and, well, yeah, a lot of the assets that you were seeing are literally from Stellaris, and it makes perfect sense because, as I mentioned, they took the Stellaris code and essentially just went ham there. And yeah, if you want to have that experience right now and play Star Trek within Stellaris, be sure you check out the mod. We'll put a link down in the description below. But still, very, very interesting to see what we're going to see in that general direction. Apparently, we're going to have Borg stuff in there. The interface is a little bit different. Sure, the models seem to be a little bit bigger as well, with the ships running a little bit slower. The map seems to be a little bit more compact as well, playing as the Klingons, the Romulans, the Cardassians, and of course as the Federation, with a whole bunch of other stuff thrown in. But what I thought was the most interesting thing wasn't so much the change of the UI, because that's very, very straightforward. What I was really interested in was the fact that they took the Hearts of Iron mission tree system and then added it to Stellaris. That's a fascinating idea here. Now, the mod itself, the quote-unquote official, the total conversion mod for Stellaris has a lot of content in it, to say the least. There's a lot of stuff going on in this, basically at all times, because look at this, they've got like a million different new things, they got different relics, etc. I haven't picked anything up here, but the entire galaxy for Star Trek is available here, and it looks like the Borg have gone a little bit ham here at the moment, which is a little bit unfortunate, but then again, the Dominion are on the other side of the galaxy as well. I don't think we're going to be having that experience in that game. I think this is going to be a very alpha and beta quadrant little scenario they've got cooked up here, but still, we'll have to see what's going on with that. Oh, look at this glorious galaxy class. It is quite sexy. Now, what we've seen from the screenshots so far is that Stellaris Infinite is very much a mid-2300 game, so basically the next generation, Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, and all that stuff. Nothing really outside of that timeline from what we've seen so far. But maybe, you know, we're going to see a little bit more of that later down the line with different expansions being thrown in here as my combat wing is attacking what looks like to be a Borg station at the moment. which is going to be a little bit unfortunate for the Borg because I got way more firepower because these galaxies just absolutely slap in terms of firepower. But the real question is, to me, is not so much that, okay, we're going to be able to play officially, like licensed Star Trek within Stellaris, or maybe probably more like a separate game and all that jazz. But what does this mean for other franchises like Crusader Kings? Are we going to see a Crusader Kings version of the Song of Ice and Fire? That mod has been running for a long time, and I know that there are people that would love to see an official version of that, because this really opens up the floodgates in terms of licensing new things for the games industry, because you can just add anything to Grand Strategy. There's a Star Wars Grand Strategy mod for Stellaris as well. Apparently it's quite good. I haven't played it in a while, but it is quite an interesting one. You can play as the Borg here if you want to as well. You want to have a Borg dedicated expansion for Star Trek Infinite? Yeah, sure, you can do that. I don't think there's going to be a big problem here. Yeah, Legacy of the Old Republic is a thing. Star Trek New Civilizations, of course, the mod, and recently they had the update because of the primitives and all that jazz. But yeah, it's I find it fascinating. In this mod at the moment, however, if you really want to go ahead and play with it, you can play as all of these factions. Like, there is so many here. Like, you want to play as the United Earth, you start off in 2200 something or 2100 something, I believe, just right at United Earth before the Federation is even a thing. Klingons, Dominion, Krenim. Oh, Krenim is interesting as well because you start with time ships of all things. Basically every major Star Trek storyline is part of this particular mod. You want to play as the Borg from the start? Yeah, you can totally do that. You want to play the Dominion Wars as a Dominion? Yeah, you can totally do that. You want to play as one of the houses? Yes, because they have houses. The Klingons have like 16 different houses that you need to coordinate because of civil war. Or, I don't know, the Vulcans, who can just turn into the Empire of Surek and stuff like that. There's just so much stuff going on in here when it comes to just Trek in general. It's probably one of the best mods out there. But in the end, Star Trek Infinite is, I'm concerned that it's kind of going to blow away the mod, because why would you continue playing the mod if there's an official game already out there? Like, it's I think it's a fascinating little idea of how this would work. Then again, the mod itself has existed in one way, shape, or form for years already. And sure, it's a smaller team of developers, but in the end, you're still going to go up against people who work on this stuff basically 24/7, have a large team. God knows where they're going to get the models from, but as far as I understand, is that all the models from any mod in the workshop is technically owned by Paradox, and if Paramount goes behind that and says, yeah, just use these Borg cube models, and they're going to be like, okay, cool, but they'll probably have to approach somebody in the meantime. Anyway, playing as the Borg here, apparently your unique resources are nanites, nanoprobes in this particular, and all that stuff. But yeah, you can play anything in this particular mod. Probably the most expansive thing I've ever seen in my life. You should really go ahead and check that out. If you're coming from outside the channel and you've never really seen anything regarding Stellaris, well, welcome. It's a total conversion to us and basically everybody. If you want to have a taste of it, go grab Stellaris, and then go grab this mod and just play around with it, because there's a lot of really cool stuff here. You can play as the Herodian. You want to play some Hunter clans? You can do that and just go around the galaxy and kidnap people and put them on hunts, and then your leaders can just do all sorts of cool things. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. What do you think? Star Trek Infinite, which is coming in our general direction sometime, I guess, this year, maybe next year. Don't know at this moment in time. Are you excited for this, or is this to you a reskin of Stellaris? I think because it's basically an offshoot of Stellaris using components of Hearts of Iron, it's a different spin on everything. I think this could be a very interesting approach. Sure, it's a spin-off essentially, but still a really cool spin-off though. Really looking forward to this. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and let me know what you think. Until next time, take good care of yourselves. And as always, time to go for some hunting, because the Herodian are waiting.